Welcome to this session on eternal love. A very good morning from America, and thank you for joining us. I know that there are many others joining us not only on Zoom but also um, on various Facebook and YouTube page as well. So special thanks to Brahma Kumari's YouTube USA team and also to the Peace Village team, a very beautiful retreat center of the Brahma Kumaris in Americas. And special loveful appreciations for the Manhattan Meditation Center and Miami Meditation Center of the Brahma Kumaris, as well as South Carolina Meditation Center of the Brahma Kumaris for uh, supporting this program. And if any of you are close by to these centers, please do make a visit to their website and see the interesting programs that they have for you. So coming to today's topic, eternal love. Uh, this is a very interesting topic, and we have Sister Ella joining us all the way um, from Finland. Is it possible to spotlight Sister Ella as well?
Hello, everyone.
Yes, thank you. So welcome, Sister Ella, and she's from Helsinki, Finland, and maybe a brief round of introduction from Sister Ella also would be very helpful.
I'm so happy to be with you, first of all. It was a great honor to get an invitation, and this is really beautiful topic, this eternal love, because especially when I started to become interested about spirituality, it was this aspect of love which was really touching my heart. And it was the love I was never ever experienced before. It was a divine love, pure love. And that really made me change the way I think and see the world. So I have been studying and teaching this Raja Yoga meditation now around 12 years. And I am based in Helsinki, Finland. So we are here up north, and we have beautiful winter here, lots of snow and quite cold also. So it is lovely to enjoy the winter. And I heard that at least in the New York area, there is also white everywhere. So nice to be with you.
Yes, so thank you, Sister Ella, for your nice introduction. And yeah, so eternal love, this topic, everyone is interested in love. And in a way, we all are looking for love, isn't it? And that's why we all are here as well. There is this basic need that we all have, which is in terms of how love makes us feel, right? It makes us feel so secure and looked after, protected, right? And that is one of the reasons why we are really looking for this love. But eternal love is something more than just love, isn't it, Sister Ella? So, is it that this eternal love exists in Finland? Because in America, it's very difficult. So, just want to know, what are your thoughts on eternal love, and probably is there any difference between eternal love and the love as we know it as of now?
Yeah, definitely there is. And as I was sharing my own experience, it was the first time in my whole life when 12 years ago, 13 years ago, I experienced this different type of love. So definitely it is different. But what is the beautiful thing that every one of us, we have it because we are beings of love. And this very spiritual, pure, real love is something what we are. But yeah, there is a huge contrast between the ordinary love, which we all know also, and it's all about like loving some certain persons, for example, my family, my friends, maybe 5 people, maybe 10 people. And there is love a little bit more for someone and a little bit less for someone else. And also, love can stop completely. So it's not eternal love, it's not unconditional love. So there is like a huge, huge, huge difference because this eternal love, it is something very sacred and it's very unique and rare in today's world because that is the love which is meant for everyone. So it's like having being in that consciousness that we are the beings of love and seeing through those lenses everything and not just looking externally how people behave and what do they say, but really like paying attention who they really are. It might be that it's not very um, seeing in external form, but everyone is this kind of diamond of love and seeing that. So, what do you think, Kanupriya? It would be lovely to hear your thoughts also.
Yes, like you rightly said, that we all are looking for this eternal love, and we all are actually even uh, wanting this, but it seems a little rare. Yeah, and I'm reminded of the Rumi's quote here, which says that the root of love is in eternity. And somehow it feels like, although we all are looking for it, we are somewhere confused, maybe. Yeah, and that is why, although we want to be unconditionally loving, or we want to be loved unconditionally and selflessly, we all hear these words, but something is really, something we are not understanding in the right way, is the feeling, right? And that is where I feel that the spiritual wisdom is actually helping us really understand the true meaning of love. And like you said, that love is more selfless and much more pure in a way. So uh, this confusion that I'm talking about, one very nice example that comes to mind is, I'm just going to uh, showcase this board. I hope you all can see the board. Yeah, so this example shows us what we are doing and probably why the confusion, right? So this is a dog. Yeah, and pardon me for my drawing, but yeah, so this is a dog, and he lives with Tom. Hmm? And very loyal dog, very cute little loving dog, and uh, he loves Tom a lot, right? And whenever Tom is in the house, uh, he's always playing with him. And um, in pre-COVID days, when Tom used to go to office, every day the dog would wait for Tom to first leave. And he used to feel, whenever he has to go to office, Tom has to go to office, dog would feel a little bit down. Yeah. And in the evening, but as soon as it was Tom's time to come back home, the dog would really wait for him to come back home, right? And wait at the door. And as soon as the Tom comes back home, opens the door, dog is ready to love him, to be kind to him, and just for his company, looking for his company. So uh, now what happens whenever Tom has to travel outside, right? So again, this is all pre-COVID, right? So whenever he has to travel for work for a few weeks or something like that, what what the dog would do, he would miss Tom so much that he would actually protect his shoes, Tom's shoes, which were there in the house. He would protect those shoes um, very much. And just like as if it was Tom. So at 5 o'clock, when Tom used to come back from office, dog would go because Tom is not there. He's away on travel. Dog would go and hug the shoe, just in remembrance of the dog, of Tom, right? So uh, this is something which we call displaced love, right? We want to love the real being, which is Tom in this case, but because he's out of sight, he cannot be seen. He's away, um, as if we are not able to. When the dog is not able to see, then he's loving the shoe. Hmm? And something very similar has happened with all of us, which is why probably we are getting confused. Who are we loving actually? When we see that in nowadays, love means I have to dress up myself properly. Yeah. We love somebody's clothes, the way somebody looks, or based on his appearance, we love someone. For example, it may be the voice that someone has, it may be just the eyes, or anything. The physical features have a lot of importance in who we love or what we love, especially in relationships. Hmm? But just like in the case of Tom and the dog, we are actually, when we are looking at the physical experience, appearance, or the body of a person, then we are actually ignoring the soul, the point of light. Yeah. So if the actual real living being is this point of light, who's actually eternal, hmm, who's immortal, never dies. And we are wanting to love this eternal living being of light. But because at this moment we don't know enough about this being of light, we are not even able to see this being of light. This being of light is invisible. So there is this confusion happening in all of us, that we are actually loving the body or the shoe of Tom, which is displaced love. The shoe is parallel to, in my story, the shoe is like the costume that in my case Kanupriya is wearing. But this being of light is totally separate. And that is the one, if we get to know, and that will be our effort in today's workshop, to know this being of light better, so that we are able to learn how to love this being of light. And the more we see it for ourselves, that we are a being of light, we are able to translate it into relationship with others as well. And then our relationships will become more loving, more selfless, like Sister Ella was mentioning, unconditional love, all those things start to happen. But first, we have to be very clear, who are we loving? Right, Sister Ella? Would you like to add some more things, please?
Yeah, thank you for sharing this. This is very concrete example, and it's really showing like a very clear contrast between the, you used the word, what was the word, displayed love,
Displaced love.
displayed love, yes, and
Displaced.
and I was using before the ordinary love, so it means like the same thing, what you were sharing. So very good contrast between the eternal love and this displaced, this ordinary love. And also what comes into my mind about this ordinary displaced love, and that includes always pain. Because sometimes we might feel that, okay, what does it matter if having love for the boots or something which is not really the eternal living loving being. But the side effect of this displaced ordinary love is pain. And it's very interesting that it's always existing there. It's like, you know, in the subconscious level, because immediately when one is having this displaced love, you become dependent on that. And there starts to be insecurities in the subconscious mind when I am going to lose this. Because everything what is temporary, it can finish any moment. And that's why when we are in this mode of displaced ordinary love, we have to manage also the feelings of insecurity, sadness when we lose it, what we are loving, and also so many other side effects comes. One becomes jealousy because of that. So all those negative emotions and even all the conflicts what may appear, you know, the root cause is this ordinary love. So when we are shifting the love from physical to spiritual, it's like magic what happens, because in the level of eternal love, there is never pain, never sorrow, because it is not possible to lose anyone who is eternal. So that's why it was also mentioned in the beginning that that's why there is safety, there is feeling of being completely secure. And when that is foundation, all the best sides of me come to the surface. And when I am insecure, then all the not so nice sides of me come to the surface. So this is also what we need to see when we are seeing this contrast between these two different types of love.
Yes, very nicely said, Sister Ella. And um, uh, this pain aspect which you brought about is extremely important for us to also see. If love were such a powerful feeling, and we all agree that love is a very powerful feeling, right? Um, but when there is this pain that is coming in associated with that love, with it may be an object that we are loving, it may be the own body appearance that we are loving, or in relationships, other people that we are loving, right? um, if anything changes, then we may feel pain. Or if anything, anyone is not behaving the way, or if the appearance is changing as per the age or something like that, there is a difference, felt in the feeling of love, right? and that is when pain starts to come in. And really, if true love was such a powerful feeling, then we really have to think that, is love making us feel painful, pained, or weak? Or, there is this term that we use very often, I'm falling in love, right? So really, to see, is love really making me or giving me the feeling of falling down and pain? Or true love, if I were to really look at true eternal love, then it will make me feel um, uplifted, bring out the best in me, like Sister Ella was also mentioning, right? Um, it will it will make me feel happy and secure, right? Full. Hmm? So it will bring out the best potential in me always. Hmm? So the moment we start to feel that we are helpless, or we are not able to do much for a person that who we love, or those loving feelings are not being generated for someone who we think we love, right? Then there is definitely this confusion happening, and we really need to see who is it who we are loving. And true love will always, this is a good barometer or a test for us to see that any point of time there is a reduction in in the loving feeling. It True love will never make us feel pain, or feel like there is some kind of lacking, or desperations even. It will always make us feel like full and giving more. It will always make us feel uplifted, and as if on cloud nine, right? They say that when you are in love, you are on cloud nine always. Yes, so we will always get such feelings. So that is another aspect. So how do we get there, Sister Ella? Now I think we have understood, most of us. And please feel free to type your questions in the chat box. We are monitoring your comments, and any questions at any point of time, please feel free to ask them via the chat box or comment box. We will take them up for you. So, Sister Ella, my next question to you is, this wonderful feeling of this flying in love, right? How do we really get there? What is it that we have to do to really feel like this?
Yeah, it's very true that we might become very happy when we hear this knowledge and we say, yes, yes, I fully agree. It is like that. I don't want any more that ordinary love. I want that special, unique, rare love. And but how? This was my question also. I remember because I got an experience, but I truly needed knowledge how to put it into practice. So I would say that the most important thing is to keep on studying this, because in a way this is very, very simple, but it's very subtle because we are talking about our level of consciousness. So one can say that there is lower consciousness and then there is higher consciousness. And ordinary love is in lower consciousness. And that is our consciousness, which is nowadays like normal. But it has not always been like that. We are higher beings. That is our natural nature, all of us. There is no exceptions. And this is now what we need to do, how to shift from that lower consciousness into higher consciousness, where this eternal love is very natural experience. And in that consciousness, it's not about getting love, It's not about searching love, but it's truly like being conscious that we are those loving beings. And when there is this consciousness, it's like natural giving. There is no thinking process that, okay, now I have to give love to this one and to this one. But it's like naturally flowing the love when tapping into that source of love. And one nice aspect is detachment. And Sister Kanupriya was beautifully making that drawing and thinking about the human being. So this is the human part, the body, and we have the external role we are playing here. But then there is the being part, and we need detachment, inner detachment. It is not physical detachment. So it's not like Ella is detaching herself from you, but detachment in the inner level, detachment from that consciousness that I am this body, I am this role, because body and role is temporary. Yes, I play it, I'm happy to be in this body, but not identifying based on that. So that's where this aspect of detachment comes, because there cannot really be experience of eternal love unless we are detached. And this detachment is not coldness. That's the beauty, because very often we think that detachment means that one becomes very neutral and cold and not anymore communicating with others. And it's nothing like that. It's completely opposite. Because through this inner detachment, we are able to experience that fullness, that beauty, who we truly are. And then we are able to connect with others in a spiritual level while we are in these bodies, while we are playing our roles with words and actions. So that would be the practice, and we are going to have a meditation soon, so you will get a better idea. But maybe you would like to add something, Sister Kanupriya, before we go to meditation?
Uh, yeah, I think you covered most of the detachment aspects, and this myth about detachment. You beautifully clarified for us that detachment doesn't mean that we don't care for the other person and we are not concerned about their well-being or we do not love them in that sense. But detachment really gives us that freedom to experience the real, true love. And it is a very important first step. And I'm sure we are really looking forward to the meditation with Sister Ella. The next 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes, we will have a short meditation to experience this um, uh, true love. I also see there are a few questions, but if it's okay, we are going to touch on those aspects we had already planned in the later part of our conversation today. So we will take it up then. Okay. All right. So over to you, Sister Ella, for the meditation.
So let's take a good posture. We can keep our minds, we can keep our eyes either open, or then you, if you like, you can also close your eyes. The main thing is that you are able to concentrate and let yourself to dive into experience. let us remind ourselves that this is something very, very easy and natural. Now, when we are having this practice, it's basically just reminding ourselves who we truly are. And who we truly are is something very, very beautiful, very unique and rare. So we can first see the physical world. We can see it in our mind. Yesterday, tomorrow, and this day happened there in the physical dimension. Even this today's session in Zoom is happening there on the physical dimension. And we can put that whole thing into a tiny, tiny box. Ella, Kanupriya, and everyone else belongs to that box. All the flowers, all the forests and lakes, buildings, everything what is temporary belongs to that box. Sound, place, and time belongs to that box. But we can go beyond the box because we are the beings of light. And we are originally from the spiritual dimension. And this spiritual dimension can be experienced just in a second. This is the world of light. This is the world of eternal love. And we are worthy of experiencing this beautiful reality because we are originally from here. We are these eternal, immortal, loving beings. And this eternal love can never stop. No one can steal this love from us. This love is our treasure. And now we are letting ourselves to remember how beautiful we truly are. All of us We are the beings of eternal love. And this love is so pure, so sacred, unlimited. This is true love. And now we are in this state of experiencing this special love. And this love is not based on that tiny, tiny box. No matter what is happening there, it doesn't affect in our experience. And whether we can hold this consciousness for a second or minutes, it is very good. Practice makes the best. And this is not something new. We are coming back to who we truly are. And even when we are visiting in that box and we are wearing this costume, we are playing a role inside the box, we still remember who we are. Let's not forget. Let's stay detached from the role and from the body. And it just means that we stay free, free to experience this, who we are. And the real self is full of all the treasures. It's not just love. There is peace, love, happiness, purity, power. All virtues and powers are within. Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Ella, for that beautiful meditation exercise. And I'm sure we'll get back to it more in the next hour or so. Really feeling like not coming out of that experience. So thank you for it. And so that takes us to the next segment. We planned it a little bit of a reflective segment here, like a creative exercise. And I would like to invite Sister Ella to take us through that creative exercise.
Yes, thank you. Now it's your time to be creative, because it's also very important that all of us, we are creating ourselves. So feel free to do this exercise in the way you like to do it. And don't think too much. Just like listen to your inner voice. What does it say? So the exercise is that imagine how does your inner world of thoughts and feelings look like when you are experiencing eternal love. So you can do this exercise just if you don't like to write anything or if you don't like to draw anything. You can also just sit in the silence and reflect. Or if you like, you could even draw something. Something, how would you describe what is happening in your inner world? How does it look like? How does it feel like? So try to grasp that experience and put it in words or drawings in some way. And if you have any other option, so that's why there is something else, so feel free to use your creativity. So we have around 10 minutes time for reflection. And after that, we come back to sound. And maybe there is someone who would like to share some of your thoughts.
So hope that we all could reflect a little bit on what we all just heard and what we all just meditated on. Just would like to invite if anyone would like to share their reflection. You can type it in the chat box, or if you have drawn something, then please send us a picture and we'll try to put it up for you. So um, take your time to send us. Um, all right, I see that one person has drawn something, I believe. Okay. So, are you able to send us a picture on the email address you would have received with the confirmation email? Okay. All right. Okay. I think one person wants to share. I'm also reading another sharing here. We can say love is manifesting soul to soul of our innate, original, natural feelings and emotions of affection, kindness, sympathy, and empathy towards everybody. That's a very, very beautiful sharing. Thank you for that sharing. And yes, I think we we did get it uh, the way we are also experiencing this eternal love. I think this definition that is shared is extremely beautiful. Um, Let me see if we can. We would just like to just remind that to make the sharing extremely brief, if that's possible. Yeah, you could go ahead, I think. Yes. Yes, I think you're unmuted now, so you could share, please. We are not able to hear you. All right, we are not able to hear you. Maybe some problem. That's fine. All right, and I have another sharing here where which says, when experiencing external love, I feel at peace. I think they mean eternal love. When experiencing eternal love, I feel at peace, still, calm, and constant om. I feel relaxed, good, happy, safe, anxious, safe from anxiety, I think, and free. I feel connected to God and more connected to others. I see others better and I'm more in tune with them, which helps me to better respond with love. I'm free and joyous, smooth sailing in calm waters. This is like a beautiful, beautiful poem. So thank you for sharing. And um, these reflections are very valuable, isn't it? Sometimes we overlook the importance of these small moments and these small pauses that we should take for ourselves. And in a later exercise, we'll explore on how we can develop this habit of reflecting more in order to experience, because we all are running all the time. uh, Now maybe not literally, because we all are mostly at home and travel is restricted in a lot of ways, but still our minds are racing, our um, sort of, hearts are racing as well. Yeah, so yes, these reflections are extremely important and beautiful. I'm not sure if Sister Ella would like to also share her some thoughts on this.
There is also someone has raised hand. If she would like to share, maybe let's hear from her.
Yes. I,
Thank you for sharing your thoughts. We are very much evaluating this. So it really makes this whole session more richer when everyone is sharing their own experience.
all
Hi,
right, go ahead. Yes.
can you hear me now?
We can hear you, and yes, so just requesting to please keep it very short. Yeah,
Yes.
thank you. Yes.
I wanted to share with you about the eternal love and how God always shows up and he's always with us and he always shows up when we need him the most. Sometimes our friends and our family can fail us, they can disappoint us, but God never disappoints. And my case in point today was that I wanted to share with you the beauty of the dog example that you gave this morning. And I just want to let you know that you were an instrument of God when you shared that particular example. And I don't know when you thought up that example, but the reason why it was so powerful to me this morning is that I just lost my dog, and my husband's name is Tom. And my husband and I are living separately. And when we lost our dog this morning, and your example of the dog lovingly waiting for Tom to return, it was just so powerful because, now I'm going to go and just visit with him. And it's also very comforting to me to know, because I believe that animals have souls and spirits as well, and that it's just another incarnation, and but that it's only the body that is remaining at this time. But I just wanted to share with you how your example touched my heart this morning. So I want to thank you for that.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for the sharing. And it's amazing, how these things touch us. Of course, we did not plan to use the name Tom, but yeah, it just came up. And thank you for your sharing very much. I'm also seeing a common thread in most of the reflections and sharings, Sister Ella, here that eternity is being related to God, and it's beautiful because that is something that we would also maybe we'll try and touch in today's session if that is possible, apart from whatever we have already planned for you all. So that's great. And I think we are 1 hour up and another hour to go. So I hope we all are looking forward to the another hour of fun and excitement and knowing more about this eternal love, and not just knowing more, but also experiencing it. So we will have more meditations, more exercises, and some more understanding. All right. So before I move on to the next segment, I have few more sharings which I want to reflections which I do want to share. Is that okay? The person who's unable to share with us because of some audio issues, I think, on their side. Yes. So is saying that for me, love is joyful and blissful, totally completes my heart. It vibrates with pure joy of love that words cannot explain, because there are no words that can explain it. So beautiful. Thank you for that sharing. And another sharing from another person: eternal love makes one feel happy, energetic, light, and bright. Yeah. So, such beautiful words, right? Just with a little bit of understanding of what this eternal love is. Yeah, we all are looking for permanency in our lives, for stability, for that security. And nowadays, love of any kind is so changing, like Sister Ella was mentioning in the beginning of the talk itself, right? It's like wishy-washy, if I may use that word, right? It comes and goes and comes and goes. Yeah, so to have that kind of stability, security, permanency in that, in such a powerful feeling like love is very, very beautiful. Okay, so our next segment, we wanted to focus a little bit more on this aspect of planting a seed of love, right? Because, like we all know, and especially this seed of love in our relationships, right? Because that is where we actually are, as if, we feel pained the most. We feel that kind of hurt and that kind of resentment. That is another area that somebody was wanting to discuss more about, right? So in our relationship with others, when we are interacting with others, we want to be loveful. That is our original innate quality, right? We want to be loving and also be loved, but we are unable to do that. So how do we really plant the seed of love? Now, seed is a very powerful thing, right? Because if, for example, if we say that if it were a seed of, say, a rose plant, then it will give roses, it will give out roses only, right? But if it's a seed of a cactus plant, then it will give out a cactus, right? So hence the seed, what kind of seed we are planting, it will make a whole lot of difference in the way what we are experiencing when we are in relationship with others. So we all want to of course plant that seed of love in all our relationships. So okay, so I'm going to read out the last sharing because it's come out now. So when experiencing eternal love, I feel peace and calm. I find it in serving others by meditation sessions, when I conduct meditation sessions, artwork, and music. Yes, because once that you feel loved inside and full of love, then that can be expressed in so many ways, right? It could be music, artwork, meditations, right? So lovely, lovely. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, so Sister Ella, would you like to tell us, how to plant this seed of love?
I think that was a beautiful example how you shared it. But first, I would like to share the practical example. And it's someone I know very well. And I knew her before. She was a mother. And she was very, very different. But when she became a mother, something really shifted in her. She became mother conscious. And what happens when the consciousness is shifting in that way? The small child was very, very sick for many years. And it was amazing to see how she was so tireless. She had such a deep love for the child that she was able to forget her needs, and she was not doing it, by force, but it was really coming from the space of love. And I was really experiencing it and seeing it, how she is doing it. And it's kind of thinking about that seed, that how I see that that seed is the consciousness, what I shared also before. that when we really tap into that our original consciousness, then it's not just the love for one child or maybe 5 children, but then it becomes completely unlimited. There is so much power in ordinary love also, but there is so much more power in that unlimited, unconditional, eternal love. So it's all about our consciousness. When we are in our higher consciousness, we are experiencing that eternal love. It's like natural for us. So, but how to plant that seed? We know, yes, we want to be there. I am not there constantly. I am practicing it. And those moments when really purely being in that consciousness, it's really like eyes are opening, the darkness is removed, and light is everywhere. It is such a huge contrast. And what is helping in that is the spiritual knowledge. That is something I would encourage everyone to take like part of your everyday life. Maybe it is already there, but if it's not, really like every morning reading, not just any spirituality, but this kind of spirituality which is really helping you to understand properly this, what does it mean, this higher consciousness. Because when we keep our intellect busy by this spiritual knowledge, it helps us to go into experience. Because as it was mentioned earlier, it's all about experiencing it. We don't want to become the ones who are able to speak 100 hours about love if we are not experiencing it. That's the whole point. So we need to plant the seed, and we need to um, also give water to that seed. Because when we give the water to the seed, then the seed is really starting to grow and the beautiful flower is emerging. And it's like water of experiencing it. And that's how we are making it more practical in our practical lives. When we are just coming back to the experience again and again and again, because it's really like going to the gym. If we want to get better muscles, first we need knowledge what to do that we don't hurt our body. When we have knowledge, we can start the practice and we do our exercise. And more we exercise in a right way with accurate method, then the muscles are starting to get stronger and stronger. So this is like same thing what we are doing in this spiritual consciousness. We can really strengthen that by practicing it, and we can start just with 1 minute. So what do you think, Sister Kanupriya? Would you like to add something?
Yes, this example that you're giving of, this mother and child, it could be any other relationship as well. When we love someone, then we, as if, that labor turns into love, right? It doesn't feel like we are putting any effort or labor into anything that we are doing for the one we love. And so much so that in some cases we tend to ignore the weaknesses and ignore the physical circumstances, or um, just look at the positive side of things, or the person, right? And in relationships especially, that is something that we all experience, that you know the person we love, we tend to overlook all the negative points that they may have, and all of us have something or the other, right, in our personalities. But when we love that person, we as if feel so good in their company, because we are just looking at the better side of it. And like it was shared in the beginning as well, that love, in that feeling of love, we feel as if we are awakened, if as if we are uplifted. That is the kind of feeling, just flying on cloud nine kind of feeling, right? So beautiful, right? And this is where then this seed of consciousness and the knowledge becomes extremely important, because if we were to really love the real person, the real being, the living being, the point of light, who's not visible with these eyes, yeah. If we were to learn to love that person, of course, for ourselves first, and for the others as well, then there is no stopping us from feeling that heartful and giving love, right? So we all understand this now, but there is something that is really ruining this kind of relationship that we want to have with others, right? We may experience it for short periods of time with the people, right, or even with the self. So the relationship of love is sporadic in nature, in most of the cases, right? Um, so what is it that is really not making it work for us? Although we are looking for it, we are understanding it, and we are working towards it. But Sister Ella, would you like to please throw some light on that aspect?
One aspect is expectations. That is ruining the experience of love very, very well. And maybe sharing one example of this. So if there is mother and daughter, again, this is just an example, but mother is keeping a birthday party, and daughter is expecting that, of course, mother is inviting me. I am her daughter. I have been there every year when she has had the birthday party. Of course, she is inviting me this year also. But then the mother is not inviting the daughter. So how does the daughter feel? Daughter can feel very bad. How can she do like this? She's my mother. She should invite me. And this is how we ruin love in relationships, by creating expectations on others. And this is something very important to understand, because it is so easy to create expectations, right? It's just 1 second and expectation is created. I expect her to behave in this way. I expect her not to behave in that way. It can be just anything. It seems like very, very innocent expectation, but that's the beginning of ruining the relationship. And why? Why it is happening like that? Because we cannot control others. They might invite us, or then they might not. Basically, we can never control other people. And if we try, we are always going to experience some pain because of that. And why there is this kind of expectation? Because there is this kind of false belief that is, I need love, I am lacking love, and now it's a sign of love from mother to the daughter that mother is inviting her to the birthday party. But when we are in the space of eternal love, we are not expecting anyone love us back, because that's not the point at all. The point is to give love, to share love. That is the meaning of unconditional love. No matter whether other ones are responding to that or not, it's my benefit that I stay in the states of love no matter what they do. And more I stay in this consciousness, then I am able to observe my thinking, that I am not crossing that line, that instantly when noticing that now I create an expectation, she should do like this. So instantly it is good to just step back and remember, I don't need anything from them. I don't need even love. And this might sound a little bit harsh, but when we explore it more, we realize that, it's all about giving. Receiving is included in giving love. And when we just keep on giving, no matter what they do, how do they behave, at some point, those unconditional vibrations of love, they are softening them. But we should not expect that either. We just keep on giving. So how does that sound?
Yes, expectations, right? That is a big one. And just thinking about the self, no, it feels like we are so justified, right, in expecting from people.
Yes.
It feels like it is our right to expect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it may be very small also. Like in the example that you gave, mother and daughter not inviting for birthday party, um, other kind of relationships, something so simple. I remember even personally, right? Like the length of hair, right? If Kanupriya were to have a haircut, so many people in the family would be affected by it because they expected a certain kind of, hair to be there. So very, very small, minor things. That is what I'm trying to really pinpoint here, um, that we feel so justified. We feel like it's very reasonable. It is fair to be expecting this or wanting the other person to be like this. But really, what is that doing to this such a pure feeling of love within us, that pure quality of love within us? It is actually blocking that whole thing, right? So in the example that Sister Ella gave, if the if the daughter is not being invited for the birthday party, then she'll probably start to hate even her mother, right? So for nothing. And actually, that relationship is so beautiful. Yeah. That loving relationship of mother and daughter. And that transcends to all our relationships. It's good for all our relationships because each one is as beautiful as the other one, right? There is no, and that is what spiritual wisdom is telling us, that each being is so pure, so innocent, so noble. Each one is more beautiful than the other, right? And when I'm saying that who's beautiful, it is that invisible point of light, right? Not what we are seeing on Zoom right now, but the one who's invisible. Everybody is equally uh, loving, lovely, and noble. And it is such a beautiful vision to have for others as well as for the self. Mm. So um, that is something that we really have to work on ourselves. Okay, if we want to experience this eternal love, first we have to come out of that mindset where we are wanting things. And sometimes we, just to emphasize on this kind of mindset, we try to use this word, a beggar mindset, where we are wanting. And if we don't receive, if we receive, then we are happy. If we don't receive, then we are sad and we feel pain and resentment, hurtful, all those things, right? So if we were to come into that space that Sister Ella was also talking about, of fullness, of giving, then we would eternally, perennially, permanently be in that state of feeling love. And how do we come there? Because um, we can only give what we have, right? Like in my earlier example, if the seed was if the seed was a rose plant seed, then it is roses that I will give out. But if it is a cactus, then I will give out thorns only, right? So so really focusing on that aspect of understanding the true being, and then coming into that space of loving from each other. And uh, yeah, so how do we not have these expectations, Sister Ella? Can you tell us that? And now we understood that it's not good to have expectations. How do we?
Um, my opinion is that it is learning to love spiritual practice, and really like having that love for observing the mind, because there is always first the thought, then comes, it carries the feelings with the thought, and then it comes from here as a word or action. And it is very difficult to stop when it goes into this cross level of speaking and acting. It is much more easier to stop when it is in the seed level. So that's why it is very beneficial if we learn this kind of habit, that we start every day. We can just start for 5 minutes or something, very something small, but we start to learn this kind of habit of seeing inside, experiencing the inner being, and really becoming powerfully in that experience. And after that, observing what happens in the mind, and learning the art to direct the thinking in the right way. And that's where I myself find very beneficial those daily studies that, occupying the mind, because these are simple things in a way, but in the same time, like very difficult to put into practice. It is easy to get experiences, it is easy to understand that yes, it's right, it's correct. And that's the half work is done there. So we can congratulate ourselves, all of us, because we are here today exploring this. And many of us, we have or we are already practicing this. But this is the only way how we really are able to shift that level of knowing into experiencing it and checking the thoughts.
Yes, so beautiful. And again, just inviting any questions, if anyone has on anything that is being said, most welcome to type it in the chat box or the comment box. We will definitely try to address, because sometimes, just listening to this, practically, we may all have experimented with some of these things as well. And I hope the question that that was asked in the beginning, I will just read out that question. Sister Ella, if you can help us a little bit understand that better. So, how do we embrace, the shadow of resentments in order to embody the gift of mercy over judgment in relationships? So basically, yeah, how do we overcome that resentment and still have that mercy and loving feeling in the relationship intact? Yeah, somebody may have, in uh, not done what we expected them to do, maybe. Yeah. So.
Yeah, very good question. And let's come back to this daughter and mother example. So daughter can very easily, because she created an expectation that mother is inviting her, she did not. So it's very easy to create resentment because of this thinking over a long period of time, creating very strong expectation that every year she has inviting me, she should invite me. And it's happening very subconscious level. If we are not starting to pay attention, we don't even realize until our expectations are not met. Then when we get the pain, then we realize, oh, what happened? But even embracing that pain, which is in this case resentment, like really embracing that, because pain is our friend. Pain is telling me the message that now I am sitting in the wrong posture. And I need to just come back to the original posture, natural posture. And then there is no need for pain. So that's one aspect. I take full responsibility of my feelings, my emotions. Then, how to have merciful vision for the mother. When realizing from the heart, one can realize it also through knowledge, which is good, but when it really comes from the heart, that hey, she is beautiful, loving soul, and it is just the role what she is playing. I should not create any expectations to that role. She is doing her best. She must have some good reasons why she is not inviting me, but I don't let it affect to myself. I keep on inviting her. When there is daughter's birthday, it's daughter's benefit to act in the loving and kind way and keep on doing good actions, even though mother would never anymore invite her. So just turning the mirror into the self and reminding the self that love is not about taking, but love is all about giving. And that is something I can always control myself, that I keep on giving no matter what. And this is the way how I build my muscles of unconditional eternal love.
Okay, so you got a thumbs up for the answer. So that's good. That's great. So I hope we all are actually able to let go of those resentments, right? Because we all at some point of time, and sometimes many times in our lives, we may have been holding those little grudges, little resentments, or sometimes even big ones also we are holding on to, and we are not able to let go and have those clean, pure, loving feelings for those who we feel have hurt us, right? So, thank you for that. And it's time again for a little bit of a meditation exercise. So, let us again just choose a comfortable posture and just keep the back upright. Whatever sitting posture is comfortable, that's fine. And we may choose to keep our eyes closed or open as you're comfortable. If you are choosing to keep your eyes open, then please, it helps to just rest your gaze on a point in a fixed place in front of your eyes. And as we focus on this point, we take this opportunity to go inwards and explore that inner world of the one who's experiencing the one who's experiencing the sound that is heard through the ears, the one who's experiencing the video and the surroundings around through the eyes, looking through the windows of the eyes, the one who experiences this beautiful feeling of love, that experiencer is the being of light who's invisible, eternal, and immortal. This being of light is totally independent and separate from the physical body. This being of light is aware that he belongs to a world beyond this physical world, a world that is subtle and invisible. And we look at that world in the image of a sky with golden red light, very soothing, calming, like an evening sky. And this world is a region of love. And when this invisible point of light enters this region, he's surrounded by this feeling of pure love. It is so comforting. He feels absolutely secure in this world of love. This subtle world is expansive, very vast, like an ocean. And this inner being, the point of light, as if deep diving in this ocean of love that exists forever. Totally enjoying himself in these loving feelings that are there. He as if fills himself fully with this love that is so pristine and with this fullness and perfection of this complete eternal love. He's able to interact with the other points of light with this pure love, not wanting love from anyone or anything, but with the feeling of sharing that love that he himself has experienced again and again. This point of light feels extremely fortunate and lucky because he knows that he has an option to connect with this region of love and dip himself in this ocean of love, immerse himself and fill himself up, soaking all the love in. Whenever he wants. He can access this region anytime, anywhere, in just a second. And as we now become aware of our surroundings again, and we look at the people who we interact with on a daily basis, people who are important to us, all our relationships, whether at home, in our families, our friends, or office colleagues, anyone. We see them just like us, a point of light who's beautiful and who's worthy of being loved. No matter how they may have behaved in the past or even in the future, whatever their behavior may be, but I know their reality as I know mine. And just with this vision of a point of light, we are able to share that love that is eternal and unconditional, not expecting anything in return. We hold this vision for ourselves and for others. Thank you. So that brings us to our next exercise, and we would like to invite you all to actually again do some little bit of inner work, and we call this exercise the responsibility of love. Mm. So, when you love someone, it comes with responsibility, right? So you have to fulfill that responsibility if you're truly loving to someone. Mm. And the first person that we have to start loving, or the first being that we have to start loving, is, any guesses? Ourselves, right? If we truly learn to love ourselves and know our own capacity of loving, rediscover that, right? Then we will be able to share that with others as well. So the next exercise actually focuses more on how we can take this responsibility and make it practical for ourselves to be more loving for ourselves first, and then naturally we can develop that in our relationship with others as well. So um, just few guidelines which Sister Ella also shared a little bit earlier about that. We just want you to think of, what are the ways, what is the kind of discipline or a routine that you can inculcate in your daily lives that would help you build that uh, responsibility of love and that vision of love for the self and others, as if we are planting the seed. We have planted the seed, I think, already today, and some of you are already in touch with the center near you of the Brahma Kumaris. So um, even if that seed is planted, we have to keep watering that seed. And to water that seed, we need it really helps to formulate some kind of routine and discipline that we would like to follow. So for example, Sister Ella was sharing that she likes to sit back, step back and reflect, every once in a while, maybe early in the morning for 5 minutes, for or in the evening for some time. There are various methods that one could use. One is, of course, just sitting back and using this method of detaching, withdrawing, and really reflecting on the self and what our true innate nature or qualities are. Other could be, lot of times journaling really helps here as well, right? So maybe before we go to bed, we try to see um, what are the points where or interactions where we could have done better in a way, or what we have done good. Maybe in a day we did something really good, or we showed an act of love with the other in spite of whatever may have been their reaction, so to say. So what are these things that you took from today's workshop in the last 2 hours or so, 1.5 hours or so, and how you will use that to build a routine for yourself? So if you could just, jot down maybe few points that you would practice starting today itself, right? uh, uh, to help you water that seed of love, which will help you um, revolutionize your relationships in a better manner, and be more loving to the self and to others. So maybe just a short reflection again, for not more than 5 minutes. And yeah, I'm not sure if Sister Ella would also like to share something while others are reflecting. We are not able to hear you, sister.
Sorry. Yeah, it's beautiful that there is these moments of reflection, because somehow it truly helps when I create a plan, and then when normal life starts after some minutes, then when I have created a plan, it is so much more easier to follow it.
All right, so just a couple of minutes for reflection, and you will get a chance if you would like to share your routine with others, then most welcome. Yeah. Okay, so thank you. Already I'm seeing some people have started to share. So thank you for your sharings and reflections. Um, it's great, like Sister Ella was also mentioning that even if for a minute, if we could take out some time for ourselves, maybe several times in a day helps. Just 1 minute or 2 minutes. If you're able to take out longer, that's a bonus. Yeah, but at least a minute we can all take out for ourselves, and let us hear some sharings on how we will build this practice of loving and take that responsibility of loving ourselves. Um, so, very beautifully, someone has shared that um, I will take the responsibility for loving myself by living the four agreements. So, I like those four agreements. Yeah, so you make agreement with yourself. So, the first one is always being impeccable with my word. It is so beautiful because once you start to nurture that inner being, the point of light, then actually whatever you utter from your mouth also becomes impeccable, right? So if the consciousness is set right, then of course word will also be beautiful and impeccable. The second is not taking, just give me a moment. Yeah, not taking things personally, and that is where I think the message of expectations went in straight. When you know that it is the inner being is totally separate from this role that one is playing, in my case Kanupriya, then nothing will be taken personally, right? Because you are in that fullness and that perfect stage of love, that's eternal for that inner being. And the third, never making assumptions, right? So in our relationships, we assume a lot of things, but once we are made aware of the reality, then there are no assumptions, right? We stay in that clarity, and um, reality really makes that real for us. And then the fourth, always doing my best, and I can do that in accordance with love and truth. Yes, the true power of love is that it brings out the best, all the virtues that are there within us, somewhere hiding right now, but it all emerges when we are able to connect with that true being, right? So we all do our best then. The second sharing I want to share, reflection I want to share, is incorporating image of my physical being in the box, right? Sister Ella spoke beautifully about the box, the physical world as a box, and these roles, these physical features that we all are seeing. In my case, Kanupriya, you are seeing the eyes and the nose and the hair and whatever, right? um, that is not my spirit, my soul. That is not my love essence. And we should act, think from the essence. And the essence is that invisible tiny point of light. So thank you for that sharing as well. And the third sharing, very nice. Pray to God first in the morning for clarity and guidance. Meditate and pray again at night to calm the self. Yes, connecting with that supreme being, the most loving, the one who selflessly loves every child of his, uh, point of light. Yeah. Um, to connect with him whenever we have time, and morning and night time are the best times to really connect and listen to him, because it's naturally silent during that time. So yes, it's a very good practice to connect in the morning and evening, and um, to calm the self, and then from all that occurred in a day to get back on my right loving path. Yeah, so beautiful. Yeah. So once we are connected to that eternal source of love, to that region of love, then we are able to um, give that love to everyone and share it. All right, so very nice. We are almost at the end of our beautiful workshop today. I hope you all enjoyed it. Um, okay, so there is another sharing. Before we take leave, we will want to share this as well. Continue to practice silence by meditating daily and realize that I am the light, just playing this role on the physical plane. Yes, beautiful, beautiful. And if we are able to do this, it will be very, very, it changes the life and our relationships as well. So maybe a few words from Sister Ella before we make the closing announcements.
Thank you so much for sharing this experience of eternal love. And I truly feel honored by listening your wise sharings. And this is really truly a sign of love when we are really sharing something which is truly uplifting others. And everyone in the world, they need now spiritual upliftments. We have tried all the other things and we know we have failed. It's not working. But we here now, we know what is working and we can uplift others so much by just becoming aware who we are. Because then naturally, whatever we do, whoever we meet at work, at home, with the family, with friends, then when we are experiencing that eternal love within, that can be seen from our eyes, from our smile. It is reflecting this level. But of course, the true thing is completely invisible. And it's really like reaching other souls just by we are vibrating it. But when we take the responsibility that, yes, I am a being of love, and I take the responsibility seeing others with this beautiful vision also, that's the best Valentine's Day's gift I can give to anyone. Thank you.
Thank you. So we all have received the best Valentine Day gift, right? And that's how truly I also feel, right? And thank you for sharing such beautiful words, Sister Ella, and joining us all the way from Finland. So I hope that some of the eternal love that you're experiencing in Finland actually gets transferred to America as well very soon. And we will look forward to having you more often with us. Um, and thank you to all the participants for listening, and thank you for your sharings as well. Uh, just a reminder that, of course, Peace Village has many other programs, and it's good to keep in touch. Do let us know if you would like to receive a mailing list from us of our programs which happen every week. There is something or the other happening. There are courses, meditation courses, if you have already not done, not just in Peace Village, but any center that's close to you. Please do connect, and it will really help you, like it has helped me, Sister Ella, everyone around here, to experience that eternal love more and more and be loving to others as well. So, um, all right, yeah. So I'm receiving some messages that you want to stay connected. Yes, so that's great. And we will definitely send you mails now that we know that. Okay, so we just finish maybe with the moment of silence and see you all next time soon. Thank you and have a loveful, eventful day experiencing this eternal love. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Happy Valentine's Day.